Ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen, no ladies actually. How's it going? This is Kamish here for Week 5 recap. Believe it or not, we are basically a third through the season. There's 16 weeks, including playoffs. So we are about a third through the season, which is crazy. It feels like it just started. It always goes really fast. Um, but yeah, that's where we're at. Had an exciting week this week. Some really high scoring games and some not so high scoring games. So I'll start off this week with the lowest scoring game. A couple of crappers going head to head. This is James versus Stevie. Old roommates, aka best friends, aka homies, if you will, going at it. Both with pretty good records going in this both were 3-1. Uh, so Stevie, boy, you had a shit fest, man. Your team looks like it's falling apart all of a sudden. Decided to start Ryan Tannehill in relief of Blake Bortles. What'd that do for you? 3 points, big guy. 3 points. You got another three from Deshaun. You got a goose egg from the Texans D. You only had two players go for double digits. Melvin Gordon, dude's got 7 touchdowns on the year. I think it's the most out of any running back. He's not averaging that many yards per carry. I think it's like 3.2 or something, or less than 3.2. But he's getting touchdowns, so he's still in the running back one status, if you will. And then you got 14 from Mike Evans late on Monday night. So not good enough to get the win, 59. James, on the other hand, had a abnormally low, I think, for James's team, 80 points. He kind of got lucky here. I think he would have lost to anybody but two people in the league, Stevie being one of them. Tom Brady comes back, slices and dices. I don't think there was any rust going on there. Good for 31 points. He threw for over 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. All three went to Martellus Bennett, by the way, which was ridiculous because I was playing against him and against Tal in the league. He got 10 from Michael Crabtree, who's been very consistent this year. I think he's like number 6 or 7 receiver, which is crazy. Greg Olson for 19 on Monday night. Yeah, not much more from anyone else. Really had a low outing for Broncos for 4. Mike Nugent 1. Steve Smith for 2, who went out with an ankle injury, and Jarvis Landry for 2. So kind of some low scoring guys on his team. But he gets the win. He goes to 4-1. Stevie's at 3-2, but definitely still in the hunt, and still up there. So. Congrats, James. Next up would be another low scoring affair. My boy Cesar with the dumpster fire. I'm doing this a lot today. The dumpster fire team. I reached out to him to make a trade, and he said, "This is what my team feels like right now," and sent me a GIF of a dumpster on fire. So that's the dumpster fire team. Put up 69 points, the second least in the league. Not going to get it done. So Jameis Winston for 14 on Monday night. Man, he could have had a lot more than that. He just was not playing well. He had got 11 from Randall Cobb, who finally showed up. Got 100 yards this year. It doesn't have a touchdown yet, but he's finally getting going. So that's got to look nice. Jesse James for 10, and then his kicker outscored everybody. Sebastian Janikowski for 16. Man, your team is just falling apart. You need Jamal Charles back. Oh, Jonathan Stewart's coming back as well. Travis Kelce isn't on bye. So you got some pieces, Cesar, but you desperately need a win. You're 1-4 now after losing to Sergio. Sergio needed this win as well. They were both 1-3 going into this. He put up 94 points. He got 23 from Derek Carr, who's been very consistent. I think he's the number 5 quarterback in the league, so he put up a nice 23 against San Diego and a little bit of a shootout there. Le'Veon Bell picking up where he left off. I don't think he scored a touchdown yet, but he has like 140 yards from scrimmage or more the last 2 games. And he played the Jets, so I mean they've got a legit front 7. But you know Le'Veon, he does it all. So he was really going to work, man. He's a legit, maybe the best running back in the league, top 2, maybe. Definitely top 2, but maybe the best. Matt Forte's kind of cooled off. He gave him 5. Theo Riddick 2 touchdowns, I think, in the first quarter. Kind of fluky, but put up 19. Whatever. Packers D for 10, good for 94, good for the win. Sergio desperately needed it. Both of them did, but Sergio with the better team goes 2-3. Cesar at 1-4. Got to make some trades, buddy. Holla at me. We already tried. You didn't like it. Let's try again. Okay, then we move on to Juicy J and Louie. Tommy was undefeated going into this. Louie was 3-1, so looking to kind of help close that gap for Louis to get up to the top. Louis had a good game. He got 21 from Andy Dalton, I believe, in relief. Was it your relief of Cam, who was out with the concussion? 20 from Cameron Artis-Payne on Monday night. Trying to make a little comeback. He would have needed 4 touchdowns, though. 20 from Larry Fitzgerald Thursday night. Delaney Walker for 12. Man, your running back situation's killing you, though, bro. D'Angelo Williams gave him a goose egg. Cameron Artis-Payne did hook him up with 20, but Jonathan Stewart's coming back, so he won't be able to use him. But Doug Martin does come back after this week, after the bye, it looks like, and Mark Ingram you'll get back. So you kind of have some relief there with running backs. 95 points, not a bad outing. Not enough to take out Mr. Juicy J, who's on a roll with his Ezekiel Elliott pick, who he was so happy about, who's really picking up steam. This dude, yards per carry have gone up every week. He's just murdering. He had a beautiful run against the Bengals to put them out, put the nail in the coffin for them. The 4th touchdown, put them up 28-0, and he just, man, split right down the middle, and 2 defenders looked like they had good angle on him, and he ran right in between them, took it to the house. It was a good run. Pretty nice. So he put Ryan Fitzpatrick for bye week fill-in for Drew Breezy. Got him 14. That was risky, but it worked out. Ryan Fitzpatrick had 9 interceptions the last 2 games before that, in case you missed that. Ezekiel Elliott for a big 30 burger. He had a big game. DeMarco Murray rolling. I think he's the number 1 fantasy running back, or at least was going into this week, for 14. Very consistent. DeAndre Hopkins finally got back on with 11 with a touchdown against a tough Minnesota defense. Brandon Marshall for 18. He's really starting to pick it up with Eric Decker out. Decker went on IR, by the way. Marshall's going to be probably a good play going forward. LeGarrette Blount got lucky with the touchdown. He didn't really have a good game. His value is kind of decreasing with Tom Brady back, unless they go up big, which a lot of times they do, and then they just run the shit out of the ball at the end. But good for 115, dude. Damn, Tommy's team is on a roll, 5-0. If things keep up, he's looking like he's going to get a first-round bye. But don't get a big head, Tommy, because you know what can happen. You'll lose that first playoff game in week 2 of playoffs. It's over. Okay, don't get a big head. Your team's good. It's not that good. Okay, but good shit, man. 5-0 for Tommy. This is the best season he's ever had in any league. So kudos to him. Louis goes to 3-2, but still with a strong team and still in the mix. Then we move on to Isaac versus Kevin. Kevin, I know you're not going to see this. He says he hasn't watched one video yet. That hurts, bro. It hurts right here. Please start watching these because he just can't get a win. I know he's feeling really bad about it. So he needed this win bad against his old buddy Isaac from when they were younger. Used to kick it in the sticks. So Isaac was 1-3 going to this. Kevin was 0-4. Both needed the win. So Isaac had a nice outing, 22 from Andrew Luck, 16 from Carlos Hyde, who's been really, really good and consistent this year. Really the only fantasy asset on that team. Jeremy Curley's kind of been bringing it on, but really the only one you can trust. Devontae Freeman for 17. He did get a goose egg out of Victor Cruz and a 3 from Julian Edelman, but 11 from Gronk, who looks like he's back now. The hamstring wasn't bothering him. He hit 100 yards, and then 17 from Cardinals D on Thursday night. Good for 97. Good score. Usually gets you the win. Kevin. Oh, my God. 15. He finally got his players back from bye. He had 3 on bye. Aaron Rodgers for 15. Adam Vinatieri, 23. Here's a little stat Kevin and I talked about, and I told him thank you for that. I was going to use in the video. Adam Vinatieri outscored 6 of his other players combined on his team last week. That's not going to get it done, bro. That is not going to get it done. He got 68, and just, man, his team just not performing. He gets Allen Robinson back for next week, but, man, this guy desperately needs a win. Probably needs to make a trade to just kind of shake things up and hopefully get something going. He's not eliminated from playoffs, though. Remember last year, I think we had 2 players, at least one, Kevin, but I think it was 2 that got in with 6 and 7. So it depends on how the playoff plays out. A lot of guys had lost last year. There was a couple at the very top and a lot kind of at the middle and lower. So playoffs were very anyone could have made playoffs up until a week or 2 before playoffs. So keep fighting, bro. You can. It's possible. And then lastly, the other 2 teams. What I didn't realize, it's White Tommy versus Jordan, frat brothers going at it, and myself and Tal, is that we actually had the exact same scores, 124 to 101 in both of these outings. Crazy. That's weird. So Jordan had a good game. He's still sticking with Brian Hoyer, who seems to be getting better every fucking week. The dude threw up almost 400 yards against Indianapolis. Good for 24 points. He got 24 out of TY. He got 18 out of Vikings D, who are on a roll. As far as fantasy points are concerned, they have like 3 less fantasy points than Julio Jones, which is fucking crazy. Demaryius Thomas for 10. Rest of his team really didn't show up, but he put up 101, so that's a pretty healthy number. But White Tommy wasn't having it. He started off strong. Thursday night, David Johnson murdered San Francisco. They were feeding him. Every time he touched the ball, it was like 5 yards or more. He had 2 touchdowns. Good for a 30 burger. What else do you want? Jordan Howard, he got on waivers. Dude has over 100 rushing yards the last 2 games. He put up 22. Mari Cooper finally shows up and said, fuck you, Michael Crabtree, for 23. And LaShawn McCoy for 16. He's got a really nice running back core now. He's got a really nice team. And then Kirk Cousins for 12. But good for 124. It does have an issue going into this week, though. Jordan Reed got another concussion, in case you guys didn't see. That's his 6th in his career. He had 2 in college, and this is his 4th in his NFL career. He had some pretty lengthy history, and he was knocked out for quite a while, I think a year ago, no, 2 years ago with a concussion. So it's kind of getting into the Wes Welker is retirement questions, or is this going to cause a long-term effect? Could he be out for extended time? Who knows? But he just got a concussion, I think, yesterday. So kind of scary stuff. Hope he's all right. Last up is Corey or Cool Whip, myself versus Tal. I needed the win bad. We were 1-3. Wasn't looking good. Was looking like Cesar and Kevin territory if I lost this week. Tal was 3-1, so he was in good shape no matter what. But I know he wanted to beat me, to do his little gifts and all that bullshit. Wasn't having that, son. Wasn't having that. Okay, so Tao goes up 101, had a good game. Carson Wentz for 16, Todd Gurley for 14. Antonio Brown kind of held in check. 13 held in check, yeah. 13's a good game, but Antonio Brown could have had a much bigger game against the Jets. Chris Hogan for 12, good spot start. Tao, I didn't even see that coming. And then Martellus fucking Bennett. Stop throwing the ball to Bennett. Brady, 3 touchdowns, 60 or 70 yards. Good for 24. The dude put up 101 on me, so pretty strong game. However, Big Ben decided to say, fuck you, Tal. I'm throwing to Sammy Coates, which I picked up on waivers. What a heaven-sent thing. 27 points. He could have had like 3 or 4 touchdowns. He dropped a couple in the end zone, but he had a bomb early for 70 yards, touchdown. I was happy with that. If game would have ended, I'd have been fine with that. He ended up getting some more, racking up more yards, and got another short touchdown. So he had 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. Big Ben dice it up again. He had 31 points and Coach 27. I mean, combined right there, that's like 58 points. So that was really nice. Hunter Henry for 13, Patriots for 12, Crosby for 12. Odell Beckham finally catches a touchdown for 11.